Hello everybody, my name's Dave, thanks for joining me. Split pins. What are they? Other names and how to use them correctly. So what are they? Well, split pins are basically mechanical lock pins. They're used to secure nuts, bolts, screws, where those coming loose would be catastrophic. You will find split pins securing mechanical fasteners everywhere from your home to your car. There's probably split pins in your aircon. They are not used that often on aircraft though, because aircraft suffer badly from loose objects, i.e. an aluminium can ring pull would destroy a jet engine. We also do not want to see a hydraulic line separating at 35,000 feet. If we use split pins, then we would have to use another device to secure the split pin, which increases weight. When every nut and bolt has to be secured, is a lot of weight. So why not just secure the nut, etc. with the item we would use to secure the split pin? In the aircraft industry they use wire locking to ensure nuts stay tight. It is much lighter, cheaper and probably safer. So why not use wire locking on cars? Well, you can. No problem whatsoever. However, correctly wire locking requires correct tools and certain skills. Wire locking pliers are spiral to cause the pliers to twist. They must lock to hold the wire. Split pins can be reused on a car, but wire locking cannot be reused because you're required to cut it to remove it. So why do we not reuse split pins? The simple answer is this: if you fit them correctly you can, provided they're not too damaged. However, this leads into why most people do not, or more accurately cannot, reuse split pins. So how to correctly choose and use a split pin? Now this is difficult because there are literally thousands of websites or channels supposedly showing the correct use of split pins, and the absolute vast majority are wrong. They are wrong for two reasons. Firstly, most of them are Asian or American, and they incorrectly call a split pin a split cotter. Cotter pins are completely different. They are for a different purpose, so this name is just useless and is likely because Americans want to be different. Secondly, they fit them incorrectly and claim that that's the correct way to do it. Contrary to common belief, there are the right split pins and the wrong ones. A split pin should be approximately half to 1 centimetre longer or wider than the thickness of the material being secured. So that's likely to be a bolt, and a nut, so it has to be about 1 centimetre wider. If a split pin is too long, then it should be cut down to the correct length. The split pins should fit into the hole freely but not loosely. They are different diameters and lengths. Split pins have one leg longer than the other, so cutting them requires the same process. This is to allow easy splitting of the legs using pliers. Split pins are made in our favourite country that we all hate, China, and they often come with the legs of the same length. Do not buy cheap split pins. They will be made from a cheap material and likely break and will corrode, rendering the pin and what it secures useless. Instead of saving a few dollars, buy some decent split pins. Split pins are made from different materials, mainly steel and stainless steel, but I've seen aluminium and alloy split pins too. Choose the correct material to use, i.e. steel and steel fasteners, so you do not get dissimilar metal corrosion. Also, there are brass split pins, mainly for use in flammable applications as they don't spark. Now, to the correct fitting of a split pin, you have the diameter, material and length all correct, and you insert the split pin in through the hole. So now we come to the part where it determines whether the split pin can be reused. We also determine how easy it is to remove from the hole by the following actions. However, firstly let's discuss what a split pin is for and why it has a split leg in the first place. Let's entertain ourselves by looking at some incorrectly fitted split pins. Here is a really badly fitted split pin that is far too long. But why are they not fitted correctly? The answer to this, we must look at why we have split pin and what is its job. What does it do and why it has a split leg? Castle nuts are a perfect example of what they are for, and the castle nut is specifically designed for the retainer like a split pin. For those who don't know what a castle nut is, here's a picture. The castle nut gets tightened in the same manner as a normal nut does, but the slots need to align with the hole in the bolt or stud. I do not like castle nuts for this reason. They are often too loose or too tight because the hole has to be aligned. Then you insert the split pin through the hole. If we did nothing more, the split pin would probably just fall out of the hole, and then you would render your locking mechanism useless. By splitting the legs, we're effectively stopping the split pin from falling out of the hole. That is all that the split legs are for. They do nothing more than split to stop the pin falling out of the hole. Now let's look at a correctly fitted split pin, and then we'll discuss why it is correct. At this point I will add that the art of fitting split pins has been lost. I cannot find a correctly fitted split pin online because there are far too many incorrectly fitted ones. However, Isuzu's assemblers did a great job of fitting split pins because they were done 20 plus years ago, and I found some original split pins on my car that were fitted correctly and they not come loose. Not one, even though it is right by the wheel, and given the abuse my car has had, why did they not fall out? This is an example of how to correctly fit a split pin. Just bend one leg using pliers approximately 30 degrees, as close to the hole as possible. And that is all that is required. Any more, then you are just making it harder to remove the pin at a later date. Note: if you have a nut that is loosened often, for example a motorcycle rear wheel axle, to adjust the chain tension, then use an R-pin instead, because they'll secure, they'll stop the nut coming off, and you can just take them out and put them back as necessary. So, summary for all of this: does it matter what it is called? Well, absolutely it does. The name means that when we communicate with each other, then we're talking on the same page about the same thing. Changing the name or pronunciation just means that you are insecure and no real identity, which is why American English is so poor. Does it matter how you bend the legs? It really depends on the individual and how you understand what a thing does, whether you want to follow other people's lead like a sheep. It also depends on whether you want to do a job quickly and correctly, or whether you want to take ages getting the pin out of a hole. I have seen people drilling out split pins because often the person who installed it stuffed up. Bend the legs too far, the pin's legs are likely to break off and fall out, but it might still work. It is your choice. All I can do is to try and tell you the correct ways. I cannot make you follow my lead. That's everything. Don't forget, if you want a free socket set, to go to my previous video and send the answers to the 5 questions. If you don't want a free socket set, then don't bother. However, completely free, $50 worth of sockets, and I've used mine already and they work really well. They do the job properly. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you, bye.